I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my seat, boy. Know that they ride or die.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now today is our Transfer Tuesdays. Now I know we've all been looking forward to the transfer market opening. It's not long left to go now and there are plenty of rumours going around for Newcastle United. And here on this video we are going to be looking at 5 of the top transfer rumours we have heard this week. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you liked our first episode of Transfer Tuesdays and I hope you all come back for this one and more. But now let's get into today's video. So the first person that Newcastle have been linked with this week, and not for the first time, is the defender Sven Botman. Now he plays for Lille and Newcastle are reportedly interested in his services. We did try to get him back in January, but that deal didn't go through. So now it looks like we're back in for him in the summer. Could we now try and push a deal through for him? Now Sven is age 22 and he is a very, very tall lad, standing at almost 6'5". Now can you imagine our back line with Dan Burn and Sven Botman? Those are two tall guys. Now we probably will have one of the tallest backlines in the Premier League if he ends up coming and joining us. Now one of the things that I'm kind of worried about is that Dan Burn is a left-footed player. Sven Botman is also a left-footed player. I'm not sure how that's going to work in the centre of our defence, but I'm sure they both have some good qualities and I'm sure we can probably work around that. So he really is one of these big, tall, imposing figures in the centre of defence. I think he fits in well as a left-sided ball-playing centre-back, kind of like what Eddie Howe likes when he deploys his 4-3-3 system, and he's able to play quality long balls either side of the pitch, either going left or going right when Newcastle are in possession of the ball. So like I said earlier, a transfer fee in the region of 40 to 50 million. I kind of feel like that's kind of a good price for a 22-year-old. He comes with, some good experience. He's highly rated. For someone like him, he can join in, we can start to build our team around these new, young, exciting players. I think one of the only remaining issues is, the heavy interest from AC Milan. Well, AC Milan is, which kind of project is, Sven Botman going to look at? For me, if I was a young player, you look at the owners of Newcastle, you look at where we've, kind of finished the season at in 11th place. We really are starting to push on. It's a really good and exciting project. I do think we can tempt some of these players to Newcastle United. Now, the next player that Newcastle are interested in, and this is one that I'm really excited by, is Bayer Leverkusen's Moussa Diaby. Again, he is another young 22-year-old exciting prospect coming out of Germany. I really do think this one would be the icing on the cake for Newcastle United if we did bring him in. Can you imagine a front three of Moussa Diaby, Alan Saint-Maximin and Callum Wilson up front? I think we're going to light up the Premier League next season if we get some of these young and exciting players playing together and really pushing the Newcastle team forward. But according to the Daily Telegraph, Newcastle are ready to offer around 50 million euros for this 22-year-old who has been outstanding this season. He has scored 17 goals and 14 assists in just 42 games. Now, Diaby's importance in Germany has been that, several European giants are also interested in signing him. But, few really do have the financial situation that Newcastle have now, and we can kind of go out for some of these players, these young and exciting players now, and really, put our foot down in the transfer market now to put our squad, back up to where it really should be, pushing up higher in the table getting some new, young, exciting players and developing their own careers, whilst also pushing Newcastle further into European competitions, which really does have to be probably the key factors for next season and the importance of where the next sort of objective for Newcastle is moving forward. So, do you think we will get Moussa Diaby? I think that this one for me has to be one of the most exciting prospects that I've heard recently, and he's one that I would love to see in a Newcastle shirt. Now, the next player that Newcastle are linked with and have been linked with for a while now is the fullback Renan Lodi from Athletico Madrid. Now, Newcastle, have been in the past, back in January, gone to Athletico Madrid, and we have taken one of their players, Kieran Trippier, and it looks like Newcastle are heading back there now to steal another one. Now, Renan Lodi is reportedly, the fee is around £25 million, which would not be, too steep in the modern footballing transfer market. So I think for a player of his quality, I think that fee is rather reasonable. And as tweeted by a recent journalist, Renan, Lodi and Newcastle are set to meet later this week. And it looks like a transfer update may be coming soon. It's not hard to see why Newcastle United might be interested in making a move for Lodi. He is just 24 years of age and has played a decent amount of football for Athletico Madrid since joining the club back in 2019. He's also made several appearances for the Brazilian national team as well. So, looking at all of his quality, again, he's a young prospect. You can see from Newcastle's, transfer rumours that we've been linked with, they have all been very young players. Because if you look at our squad, it's kind of aging now, so it's really time is for that quick refresh, bring some brand new, exciting young players into the club. And I think that Renan Lodi is going to be one of those players. So I hope this deal goes through, but it's hard not to feel, harsh with Matt Targett. He has played so well since he joined us back in January, and I feel like it would also be a shame if we didn't also offer him a permanent deal. I think we have two players of that quality. I know it's doubling up in the same position, but I do think if one of them gets injured, it's a really good idea to have a backup option. But we'll just have to wait and see. Do we sign two players in this summer window in the same position? You never know. We'll have to wait and see. Now, the next player that Newcastle United have been linked with is another defender. Yes, that's right. If you have been looking at all of the transfer rumours for Newcastle United recently, they have all been defenders. Now, you can see that Newcastle are really looking to bolster their squad in defence. And the next player that Newcastle have been linked with is Nathan Collins, the defender and centre-back from Burnley. Looks like he is looking for a bounce straight back into the Premier League with Newcastle United. But let's have a look at Nathan Collins. It is being reported that the Ireland defender Nathan Collins is set to bounce straight back into the Premier League. Now, the 21-year-old has featured 19 times for Burnley and has scored 2 goals. He was also nominated for Player of the Month back in April, but couldn't prevent his side from finishing 18th in the Premier League and relegating Burnley. Now, he is another young prospect. He is 21 years old. He could be another defender that could slot into the Newcastle United defence. If I had the choice, would I want Sven Botman or would I want Nathan Collins? I think I'm going to have to go with Sven. He has more experience in Europe. And if you have a look at how tall this lad is, I think that, looking at the partnership with Dan Burn, 2 big, tall lads, I think I would much prefer, Sven Botman over Nathan Collins. But you never know. We have lots of different options to look at. And it's clear to see we're being linked with lots of central defenders. Now, the last player that we are going to look at on our Transfer Tuesdays is kind of one of those players that, we get linked with and you're just like, I don't think that's really going to work or it's really going to come off. But the player that we have been linked with is Manchester United's Marcus Rashford. Now, if you look at him, would you want him in the Newcastle United team? I think that, he's a decent player. He really hasn't done well this season under Ralph Rangnick. And to be honest, I think he does need, some more game time to get him back into the flow of playing again. I think he's lost that, spark at, Manchester United this season. I think most players at Man United have lost their spark. They had a, terrible, terrible season. So when you look at, Rashford, would you want him into, the Newcastle United team? Again, he's another young player, 24 years old. Really struggled to make an impact this season with just 4 goals in 25 games. It looks like Newcastle and Arsenal, are reportedly interested in his services. I mean, for me, I don't really see where he could fit into the squad now. Because I think that, with the World Cup coming up, I think that Rashford will leave Manchester United just because he needs some game time. If he wants to secure his place in the England squad, he's going to need to play at a club level. And right now at Manchester United, he just isn't doing that. So where do I think he would go? I think he would be probably more suited to an Arsenal. They've lost Aubameyang, they've got a Lacazette who's not really firing. Could a youth, a young player like Marcus Rashford go into Arsenal and do something? Maybe. Yeah, I think he probably could fit in. I think he's a better fit for Arsenal rather than Newcastle. You look at the way we play the 4-3-3 system. When you look at the front three that we currently have, we could have Moussa Diaby, we could have Callum Wilson, Alan Saint-Maximin. Is there room for Rashford? Where would he play? Where would he go? I think, we've been linked with him, and it's probably one of those links where, okay, Newcastle have a bit of money to spend. This is an expensive player really for Manchester United. Who can afford him? Oh, I think Newcastle are going to be linked with him. So I think that's what's happened with this one. What do you think? Would you like Marcus Rashford in the Newcastle United team? Let me know down in the comments, because for me, I just don't know where he would fit in. And that's it for Transfer Tuesdays. I hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, because there will be more Transfer Tuesdays every Tuesday.